Alright everybody, so I told you I'd give you some more updates on the progress. I haven't removed the reservoir yet, but as you can see, no more power steering pump, no more power steering lines. All the lines that go along the frame, the return lines into the rack. I'm not going to try to get all the way down there and show you guys that, but anyway, I haven't completed the power steering delete yet because I have to seal up the power steering rack still, convert it to manual, which that'll be another thing later on. But I already had the radiator and everything out. It makes it a little bit easier. But so top timing cover's off, bottom timing cover's off, everything's cleaned up. You always want to do the tensioner when you do the timing belt. So first off, I should have showed you guys, but before we took the timing cover and everything off, we lined it up with top dead center, which on the timing cover there's a little mark on it, and then there's like little notches, and it's the first one. But good news is, as long as you still have the belt on, you can still take that timing cover off, and you're good. You just don't want to spin the crank with the timing belt off with the cams not aligned with it, because it's an interference engine. But also, so it, like mine was kind of dirty, but I cleaned it all up. You can see on the crank sprocket itself there's a timing mark that actually lines up with that mark. That's how you know you're at top dead center. And right down here on this cam gear, there's a mark right there, as you can see. It matches up with that one, and then identical on this one here. Now, before I did my timing belt, obviously, I did my compression test because I didn't want to put a bunch of time into a motor that was no good. Luckily, my compression was good. So I pulled just the top timing cover just so I could get an idea of, if there's any stretching on my belt. And this cam sprocket or this cam gear, excuse me, was almost a tooth off because the belt was stretched out. Luckily though, timing was still on, so I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, the ignition timing was on, so that led me to doing my water pump and timing belt. Brand new water pump is on also. We actually did a lot of cleaning to get a little bit of extra coolant out of there. This upper radiator hose here, if you blow air through it, actually shoots coolant out behind the water pump where the coolant journal is. So you clean that out, brake clean, towel, some compressed air, that cleans everything up. A thin layer of some RTV with the gasket, and there you go. I'll give you guys another update in just a minute here. Alright, so your new water pump comes with new studs for the water pump pulley to go onto. When you put those on, definitely make sure that you use some Loctite. Make sure there's no play in those studs at any point in time. And after you do that, you are good to put your pulley back on. Alright, water pump pulley is back on. Timing belt is on. And tensioner is tight. It's funny too, because like when you put the belt on, it's actually got convenient little lines to mark your timing with your timing marks, which is great. But you get it all lined up and everything looks good, and then you feel for slack, and it's tight now, but it feels way too loose, almost like it's not on there right, but all the marks are lined up. And then you tighten your tensioner down, and then suddenly everything's good. So yeah, there's a mark for the bottom. It lines up with the timing mark down there. There's a mark for that cam, and a mark for that cam on the belt. Starting to come back together, guys. So, and also an old trick, which is nice and easy test for anybody that doesn't know. If you got your tensioner tight enough, like how do I know if my belt tension's tight enough? Well, you take the part of the belt that's farthest apart, which in this setup it's in between the two cam gears, and you actually take it, and you shouldn't be able to fold the belt. You can't even see it. There we go. You shouldn't be able to fold the belt more than 90 degrees. I mean, and I could get it to 90 if I really try, but that's it. So if you can flip it over more than that, where you can actually see the ribs of the belt upside down, you gotta do it a little tighter. Alright, we got the new thermostat in there. Thermostat gasket. We got just the alternator water pump belt on there. That's all I'm running now since I deleted everything else. And time to put in the radiator. Bam! Starting to come back together, guys. I'll tell you, it looks a heck of a lot better with no clutch fan and all that crap deleted out of there. And honestly, this video is not doing it justice right now, but it's definitely a lot more modern looking, honestly. Like, I can't wait to hear it run without hearing that annoying fan going. Got the radiator in. Got everything put back together for the most part. Obviously, y'all shoot another video with more update along the way as far as installing the electronic fans. But at this point now, I'm going to add some coolant in it. Start it up, give it a little test, and I'll talk to you guys later.